pasuk tells us that Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Ra'oi ra'isi es ani ami, for I have seen the pain of my nation. Ki yodati es machovav, I know their pain. So it's interesting. Ra'oi ra'isi is a double lashon. It could have just said ra'isi, I have seen. Ra'oi ra'isi, what does that mean? So the Medrash says that Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moshe, ata roye ri'ya achas. You see one vision. There's only one thing that you see. But ani roye shtei riyus. I, Hashem, see two things. Mamish our sugya. Moshe Rabbeinu, he says, what do you see? You see the kid at risk. You see the kid with the hat on the side. You see the miniskirt. You see the chitzonius. You see that the rebellion. Why? Because when Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, go tell them I'm going to rescue you, he said, Hey, B'nai Yisrael, lo yishamu elai. You don't get it, God. They're not going to listen to me. Hainu sho yisavar shekfar ein yishomim klal l'dvarav me'acher shenisyaishu l'gamri. Meaning that Moshe Rabbeinu said, you want me to go tell them that you're going to be redeemed? Hashem, you missed the boat. They're not interested. They're partying. Like now, imagine Hashem tells you, go Friday night, tell them in the club, Higia zman gulaschem, go, I'll give you a nice white donkey, park it outside, go upstairs, and you say, Hashem, these guys aren't interested in you. They're interested in drugs. They're interested in partying. They're interested in averis. A lot of people think that our kids in pain, are interested in sin. So Moshe Rabbeinu's response to, what? I should tell them that it's time to be redeemed? They're not going to listen to me, meaning they're not going to want to go out of Mitzrayim. Because they're at peace with their mitzias of being Meshukah b'mem teshari tumah, and their soul is not in pain to go out of Mamake HaTumah, to go out of the depths of Tumah. And that Hashem tells him, you see just the external, all the sin, and they look like they're happy, like that boy. I also see that, but I also see the pnimiyus shebepnimiyus. I see the external also. And that's why a lot of times people tell me, Avi, why are you saying that they're really good? Don't you see that they're doing this sin? I see the sin. I see what you see. But we have to see further. We also have to see the internal pnimius. Hashem teaches Moshe Rabbeinu. Let me tell you something. Moshe Rabbeinu. That what you see is not what you get. Ki yodati es machovav. I know that they're in pain. Yedei ani es goydel ha'ke'ev. I know the great pain, hamachalchal b'pnimiyus nafsham, which is churning inside of their nefesh. Asher tzoak libam el Hashem al shva matzavam. They're crying out to Hashem on the lowness of their matzav. V'af shebechitzonius, even though on the outside you don't see that. Even though on the outside they're meshukah, they're immersed in tumah. Uchi'ilu miyu'ashim, and it looks as if they gave up, as if they despaired from ever becoming from. Right, tonight we heard, about maybe I should marry Jewish, maybe I should keep Shabbos. Where does it come from? We think ki'ilu they gave up. No, Harei toichi is pnimiyus nafsham. Deep, deep inside the internal chambers of their nefesh, of their soul, Meleya b'ke'evim, they're full of pain, v'yisurei ha-nefesh, u'mishavim l'ge'ulas u'muftus nafsham, and they're dying to be rescued. They just gave up on trying, because you have to understand, these kids who are in pain, there was a time when they were 8 and 9 and 10, and they davened, and they davened, and they davened, and they davened more than Moshe Rabbeinu davened by, how much did he daven? 500 and Tavkuf Pei. And they said, Hashem, please help me. I should remember, because they had trouble memory. Please help me do well in school. Please help me that this person should stop coming into my room at night. And please help me, I shouldn't. They davened. And now they gave up because they think that Hashem doesn't listen to them. But they internally, deep inside, they are dying for Hashem to show an interest in them, to feel a closeness to Hashem. They're dying for that. They're full of pain because they feel abandoned by Hashem. Like this girl who was here, 15-year-old, she said, I used to call out to Hashem until I realized that nobody's on the other side of the phone. We don't know why, but their tefillos are not answered. They say, they say, Hashem, please protect me. And they suffer before we even notice the suffering. And then there's the spiral as they get ripped apart and they're fighting and they fight so many battles that we don't even know. And they win so many battles that we don't even realize because we just see the ones that they lose. So we say, oh, people nebuch, they judge other people. Nebuch for those people. They don't look at the pain. They don't look at what they went through and they were molested and they were abused and they had tsar. So of course they're messed up. Let's see you do better. Instead they just say, oh, he's a bum, he's a shegetz. They label Jews. Rachmana litzlan. So here we were on the Mem Tesh Shari Tumah, bowing to idols. Our kids are not as bad as that. Bowing to idols, total atheists, eating ham and cheese on Yom Kippur, because if there's no God, then there's nothing, and saying that these sheep are running the world. Oiv Avodah Zarah. And Moshe Rabbeinu said, I don't think they're interested. He says, Hashem, you don't know what you're dealing with. Ra'oi ra'isi, I see pain. Ha'ke'ev ha'pnimi al shval matzavei harachni. It's that internal pain, not drowning it out with numbing it, which is what a lot of them numb it with alcohol and with drugs, because they can't deal with it. Because they can't. V'hagaguim lashav latzis, and the yearning to return and to go up. Zegufi hi'akusta d'chiyusa hanish'eres eitzel ish Yehudi tamid. That's what remains by every single Jew. Doesn't mean that they're going to go up right now because they're in too much pain. But in Home Sweet Home, as soon as we boosted their ego by making them feel good about themselves, right, which is what we're doing here, all of a sudden, right away, the kusta d'chiyusa, the kernel was right there. It wasn't something I had to create. I didn't have to create that they should be good. I didn't have to create that they should want to come back. They always wanted to. It was suppressed by feeling like a loser, stealing and doing averis and giving up on themselves, giving up on Hashem, giving up on life. But as soon as we pumped them up, right, all of a sudden that it was a heartbeat. Like someone has a heart attack, right, and they defibrillate them. They don't have to create a heartbeat. The heartbeat is pumping. So they have inside of them a kusta d'chiyusa that can never be extinguished. It's like the pilot light. Nothing that they do or that happens that can ever extinguish it. We don't have to make anybody good. They're good. They have that. And as soon as they can, they will. That is the kusta d'chiyusa hanish'eres eitzel ish Yehudi tamid. It remains forever. It's like the black box in the airplane. No matter what happens to that airplane, that black box is always going to be there. That's why somebody said, why don't they figure out how to make the whole plane out of the black box? And on that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu testifies, Ki yodati es machoivav. He says, I'm telling you, I know their pain. So we know our kids are in pain. We see their pain. But there are a lot of kids that you don't see the pain. And a lot of parents say, no, my kid's not in pain. He's just an atheist. He's just this. He's just that. You should know it's not true. Inside is a kusta d'chiyusa, and there's layers of pain that are covering it up. And when we do our job, right, like a dead car battery, they're not dead, but car battery gets a boost. When we do our job, when we boost their self-esteem, and they stop feeling like the bottom of the world, and they get over their problems of their tremendous pain and trauma and darkness that they're dealing with, it rises up. And now he says a vart, which is top 1,000 most beautiful Nesiv Shaloms I ever saw. It says, Mimamakim, from the depths, karasicha Hashem. So what do we usually say? From the bottom of the world, from a bad matzav, right? He says, no, Mimamake hanefesh, from deep inside of me. He says, Mimamake hanefesh, karasicha Hashem. Because even when a Jew is in a situation that bechitzonius in the external, he's not calling out to Hashem anymore. Listen to the words. Da'av kasha Yehudi nimtza b'matzav shebechitzonius kfar einoi mesugel likroi LaHashem. He's not calling out to Hashem. He gave up. And you tell him, come, let's have a marif. Not interested. Come, let's come. Not interested. And in the chitzonius, in the external, it looks like he's dead. It looks like he's gone. You should know deep inside of him. Isn't that beautiful? not from the depths of the situation, the depths of a person. Inside, you should know, do open heart surgery. He's calling out for God. B'mamake nafshoi hari hu meyuser v'ka'uv v'nafshoi mishavas l'Hashem. Beautiful. Beautiful. Deep inside, you should know that they're really calling out to Hashem. That's our kids. That's our kids. And that's why we see them when we get them out of darkness and we start pumping light and fun into their lives and reconnecting them and making them feel human, and their life should be the most fun possible. We reboost their brokenness. You'll see all of this is going to come out. And until then, we have to believe that mimamakim kurasicha Hashem. No matter what it looks like on the outside, deep down they're waiting to be rescued. They're saying, Hashem, please come and rescue me. That's our kids.